All right, so there's another video I want to show you guys. It actually comes from this channel. It's pretty good. But I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's very disturbing. Okay. It's called Who Gets Rich Off the War in Gaza. Also, I want to cover some other news as well. You know what? Let's...
This is Iowa, home to the Iowa Army Ammunition Plant, operated by a private firm, Mason and Hanger. This is a 120mm tank round produced by Mason and Hanger. It blew up a UN school in Gaza in November of 2023.
120mm shell, yeah, made in the USA.
The man holding the shell was later killed, surrounded by his family. On the 29th of January 2024, 6-year-old Hind Rajab and her 6...
All right, now this is a very important story that I've only seen, I think, Mehdi Hassan talk about this. Guys, this is fucking crazy. This story right here. So, this 6-year-old girl was in a car with her family, and look what the IDF does.
Family members fled as Israeli forces invaded their neighborhood.
Hello, marhaba.
Okay, so this is her cousin, Leanne Hamada, 15 years old, saying they're shooting at us. The tank is next to us. Are you hiding? This is from the Red Crescent. Yes, in the car. We're next to the tank. And they asked, are you inside the car? And you guys can literally hear the gunfire on the phone. Now, this is a 6-year-old girl sitting in a car with her slain family members. Imagine being 6 years old, talking to an operator as everyone around you is dead and bleeding.
ميتين؟
No, I'm not.
وهم هلا معك بالسيارة؟
Their car, 20 meters from Israeli Merkava tanks, was riddled with 335 bullets, killing everyone but 6-year-old.
Hey, Dominic from YouTube, welcome to the OSS, my friend. I'm happy that you're here. Thank you so much for joining the mission, my friend. This is the girl, by the way, guys. They riddled the bullets, man. They riddled her car with 300 plus shots. It's incredible that she even survived.
Hind.
انت هلا وين متخبي هلا؟ وين انت هلا محمية؟ بالسيارة.
They asked her, where are you hiding? She says in the car. And then she said the tank is next to me. It's very close.
قريب كتير؟
Where they're asking her, is it close? And she said, yes, it's very close. And she's begging the operator to stay with her.
أنا معك ليجي حدا ياخذك ما بدي أسيبك لحالك.
The operator's telling her, I won't leave you alone. I can understand what they're saying, by the way, too, Chad. Palestinian Arabic is actually significantly easier to understand than other forms.
لا أنا بدي أتمني معاكي.
She says, no, I want to stay with you. Because the girl's asking her, please don't get off the line with me. 6-year-old girl, by the way.
يا حبيبتي يا عمرو والله معك هيني أنا مش تاركك بحكي معاكي ما بدي أصلا أتركك.
She says, what time is it? It's almost nighttime. The little girl says that to the operator.
إيش؟
She says, it's almost night. I'm scared.
حبيبتي والله لو بإيدي لأجيكي نحكي يا الله.
Operator said if I could, I'd come get you myself.
Trapped in the car, surrounded by bodies and bleeding out, Hind remained on the
Because she was hit too.
phone with the Red Crescent for the next 3 hours. The Red Crescent coordinated with the Israeli military to allow an ambulance to go rescue her.
So here's the paramedic coordinator. Stay with me. Can you see the car? Do you have lights and siren on? And the reason why he's saying that is because if you don't have lights and siren on, the IDF is going to shoot you, right? We know this from the paramedics before, which I talked to you guys about with the New York Times. Remember those 19 paramedics that they fucking killed? The IDF? and then they lied and said, "Oh yeah, they weren't lighted. They weren't lit up. They didn't have their emergency flashers on." That was a lie. So the paramedic is saying, "Yes, we have our lights on," and then they're like, "Oh, look there." So they saw the car, and then look what happened.
As the ambulance arrived,
They fucking blew them up, bro. They literally blew up the ambulance that was trying to come in to save the little girl, bro. They blew up the fucking ambulance that was coming in to save the 6-year-old girl.
just 50 meters from Hind, an Israeli tank fired on the ambulance, killing the 2 medics inside. People reached the site 12 days later to discover the bodies of Hind, her family, and
Totally preventable. They could have saved that 6-year-old girl. But the IDF shot a fucking round and blew up the fucking ambulance as they were coming in to try to save the 6-year-old girl. And they knew it was coming because they told them the ambulance was coming. Now, some of you guys said, Myron, why did you turn the YouTube stream back on? Because I want all of you guys to feel the same level of rage that I feel right now. That's why I turned it back on. You guys need to be aware of what the fuck is going on. Where your tax dollars are going, what you're supporting, and what's going on with our fucking money. And what our politicians are allowing. When stupid asses like Nikki Haley and these other fucking sign these fucking bombs and say we need to support Israel, these bombs are being dropped on kids. Or being dropped on the aid workers that are going to go save the kids. So yes, I will deal with some retarded YouTube trolls because this video right here is very important. I watched this video last night. I said, I got to show this on stream tomorrow. I got to show this shit on stream. So a Merkava Israeli tank, or Merkava tank being operated by the IDF, shot at this fucking car, killed everyone inside. There's a 6-year-old girl left, bleeding, watching all of her family members dead. She calls for help. The help gets approved. Ambulance comes. They blow up the fucking ambulance. And then she bleeds out and dies. Now, obviously, this story didn't make it to the mainstream media for obvious reasons, because we know who owns the mainstream fucking media. But yeah, this is what's going on. This is what's going on, chat. And fucking incredible, bro. I can hear the fear in her voice. I can hear the fear in the operator's voice. When you understand the language, it makes it even worse. So I'm glad that you guys don't understand Arabic. Because you would see how much worse this really is. Fucking terrible, bro. This is a crime against humanity, whether you're black, white, Jewish, it doesn't fucking matter. This is fucking evil, man, that this shit is going on. And not only did she die in a terrible way, but she died while looking at her family members dead next to her. Wow.
2 medics. The exploded 120mm round found inside the ambulance was made by Mason and Hanger. It cost about $7,000. A month before Hind was killed, the American president, Joseph Biden, rushed about $106 million worth of these rounds to Israel, bypassing congressional review. Those shells have killed many here in Gaza.
And you could tell this video suppressed. He only got 61K views in 10 months. They're suppressing the fuck out of this video, so I want to make sure that you guys see it. Because I saw this video and I was like, holy shit, this is a really good video. Because it documents the atrocities, but obviously it got fucking suppressed.
Home to 2.1 million people. Most descendants of Palestinians expelled from what is now Israel over the past 7 decades. This tiny artificial enclave, one of Earth's most densely populated areas, has been under Israeli siege since 2007. Israel's illegal blockade of Gaza restricts the entry of essential goods, a policy called putting Palestinians on a diet.
Yes, guys, they use all types of fucked up shit like this. Putting them on a diet is one of the one, and the other one is called cutting the grass, which I told you guys for about well over a year now. When they systematically bomb Gaza to get rid of certain individuals, they call it mowing the lawn. Basically, maintenance.
Since 2008, Israel's repeated military assaults, called mowing the grass, have killed thousands.
And that's what led to October 7th.
On October 7th, 2023, the Palestinian armed group Hamas breached Israel's technologically advanced border wall and killed about 1,180 people, including 797 civilians.
Now, you guys got to understand that we know about 1,200 were killed, 800, right?
And kidnapped over 250 people. The day after that
What's also important for you guys to understand, 400, right? Well, let's just round it up to 1,200, right? 400 of those killed were IDF, okay? Which is how we came to the 797 civilians, right? 800. We know for a fact that the Hannibal Directive killed almost 200 innocent civilians. So that leaves us with about 600 that were killed. We don't know if Hamas killed all those 600 or not, because we know confirmed 200 the Hannibal Directive killed. So we don't even know how many Hamas killed versus how many IDF killed. To this day, nobody knows.
97 civilians and kidnapped over 250 people. The day after that devastating attack, the market
Look at these, man. Look at the markets. The money, bro, the money shows it all, man.
value of the world's largest arms dealers, Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, Boeing, Northrop Grumman, and General Dynamics, soared.
Hey, guys, do me a favor. Smash the like button on YouTube. Let's get to almost 100% engagement, if you guys don't mind.
By nearly 30 billion euro. By April, Israel had dropped 70,000 tons of bombs on Gaza. That's roughly 4.6 Hiroshima nuclear bombs. Israel's bombardment has killed about 40,000 people, including over 16,000 children in what President Biden called indiscriminate bombing. Over 92,000 are wounded and 11,000 are missing, presumed dead under the rubble. Meanwhile, Lockheed Martin raised its quarterly dividend from $3 to $3.15, making shareholders even richer. Nearly 2 million people have been displaced as they constantly flee the bombs. Hospitals have collapsed, polio has resurfaced, and humanitarian aid is being blocked.
Look at this shit, bro. Israelis dance while blocking aid trucks to Gaza. Israelis blocking the aid trucks to Gaza at the Karm Abu Salam crossing hold a dance party as millions of Palestinians face death, starvation, and disease due to lack of food, clean water, and medical supplies in Israel's relentless military bombardment. You guys see this? They're fucking blocking the aid and throwing a rave and dancing about it. Are you serious? Are you fucking kidding me? There's kids dying from totally preventable diseases, malnutrition, injuries, all fucking savable issues. And these fucking demons are literally sitting there and dancing. Dancing Israelis, I guess. But they're fucking throwing a party, stopping the trucks from coming in.
In the West Bank, Israeli settlers are unleashing unprecedented.
This happens all the time in the West Bank, guys. They beat up and attack Palestinians all the time. You don't hear about it, though, because obviously what's going on in Gaza.
Violence against Palestinians living under Israeli military rule. An Israeli professor of Holocaust and genocide studies said the world was watching a textbook case of.
Boom. And this comes from an Israeli himself. By Raz Segal. October 13th, 2023. Days after October 7th, they already were launching the bombardment.
Holocaust and genocide studies said the world was watching a textbook case of genocide. Israelis are doing the killing, but they're doing it with American and European weapons. American taxpayers will cover the $14 billion extra dollars sent to Israel, while the Israeli, American, and European arms industries and their CEOs are seeing record profits. This is a video about death merchants, grim reapers in suits harvesting Palestinian lives for cash.
They want more bombs. Whatever the Israelis want, we should be giving them.
And this seems to fit quite nicely.
And I should warn you guys that this video is very graphic, man. It's gonna piss you off, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. You guys are gonna be really pissed off. There's a reason why this fucking video is only 61K views in 10 months. They've clearly shadow banned this fucking video, so we're gonna blow this thing up so more people can see it.
With the Raytheon defense portfolio.
Soon after October 7th, President Biden announced a $14.3 billion aid package for Israel on top of the $4 billion Israel receives annually. The United States supplies about 70% of Israel's weapon imports and has provided Israel with approximately $310 billion in foreign aid since 1948, making Israel the largest recipient of American aid. Israel uses a lot of this money to buy American weapons. It's essentially a form of corporate welfare for weapons manufacturers, the top 5 of which in 2022 alone saw $196 billion in arms-related revenue. As the aid package was making its way through the American Congress, President Biden circumvented the law to make over 100 arms transfers to Israel from October 2023 to early March 2024. Each transfer was kept under the reporting limit of $100 million to avoid the threshold for congressional approval and to keep its contents secret. Only a select few of these were made public. One in November of 2023 for $320 million in bombs primarily bought from Boeing and Raytheon, and two in December, a $106 million package for 14,000 120mm tank shells and $147.5 million worth of 155mm artillery shell components. Just to get an idea of scale, in the first 2 months post-October, 10,000 tons of American military hardware have been delivered to Israel, including 15,000 bombs. You can go and see a whole breakdown of all the weapons and aid the US has sent to Israel since October here. Most of these were paid for by American taxpayers, a direct transfer of wealth from regular people to weapons companies. In the same week, in April of 2024, that Biden's $14 billion aid package was finally approved, more than 300 Palestinians killed by the Israeli military were discovered in mass graves near the Nasser hospital. President Biden said that he was heartbroken when an Israeli drone hunted down a World Central Kitchen aid convoy in Gaza.
And that's the one I told you guys about before that killed a bunch of American citizens. Or one American, I think 2 American citizens and some Australians and Brits too.
Striking it 3 times with missiles that killed 7 humanitarian aid workers. Since October, the Israeli
And that guy was American on the bottom left. I know he was.
military has killed at least 250 aid workers.
250 aid workers. Wow.
But President Biden,
And Biden is asleep at the wheel as usual.
a powerful, alert, definitely awake man, despite his heartbreak, made sure the weapons kept flowing. This free flow of no-rules weapons to Israel encourages it to bomb indiscriminately. It also opens up an infinite cash pipeline to weapons companies. There are too many companies profiting from Israel's war to include in this video, so I'm only going to focus on a select few. You can go see a good overview of all the companies on this website linked in the description. On the 26th of July 1948, during a supposed truce in the Palestine war, most of the Palestinian villagers of the village of Ain Ghazal gathered in the village center to celebrate Ramadan. Suddenly, a Boeing B-17 bomber, piloted by the newly founded Israeli Defense Forces, dropped a bomb on the crowd. The women and children ran in terror, while the men stayed behind. Israeli troops stormed the village. They rounded up the males between the ages of 10 and 50 years old, as they routinely did throughout Palestine in 1948. They shot 17 of them on the spot. The rest of the village was expelled. One of over 500 Palestinian villages.
See, and they never talk about this, right? They'll sit there and they'll say, oh yeah, Palestine didn't exist. What? Bro, you can look at old maps and see Palestine on the map, right? And this is the forbidden history they don't want you guys to know, that they came in and they literally removed these people from their villages. 500 Palestinian villages cleared out, bro. We're really going through the dark history of Israel here. We really are.
That suffered the same fate. 750,000 Palestinians were expelled between 1947 and 1948.
Almost 1 million, chat. In 1 year, gone. They never talk about the Nakba.
Never to return home. Boeing has sold planes to the IDF ever since. Boeing is the largest supplier of missiles and munitions to Israel. Just one deal for bombs in May of 2021 was worth $735 million. A few days later, Israel began an 11-day-long bombing campaign over Gaza, which killed 256 Palestinians, including 66 children. Boeing has provided bombs for Israel's 2023, 2022, 2021, 2018, 2014, 2012, and 2008 attacks on the Gaza Strip. For example, in May of 2023, Israel carried out a surprise 2 a.m. bombing of Gaza, dropping Boeing-made bombs that killed 11 Palestinian civilians, including a 4-year-old girl, while she slept. Boeing sells Israel F-15 fighter jets and the bombs that they drop, such as guided small-diameter bombs and joint direct attack munitions known as JDAMs. JDAMs can be attached to unguided dumb bombs, turning them into precision-guided smart bombs. Since October, the US has sent millions of dollars worth of JDAMs to Israel. On the 31st of October 2023, Israel used JDAMs attached to Boeing Mk-84 900-kilo bombs on the Jabalia refugee camp, killing nearly 200 people. Israel used another 900-kilo Boeing JDAM on October 10th on a family home, killing 24 people, 21 of which were from the same family. Israel dropped another on October 22nd on a home, killing 19 people. Both homes were in a designated safe zone. Amnesty International found no evidence that any military target was nearby. Biden has sent Israel over 5,400 Mk-84 900-kilo bombs. In tiny Gaza, these earthquake-like bombs can kill people 300 meters away. Biden continued to send these bombs even when he knew that Israel was regularly bombing buildings without solid intelligence that they were legitimate military targets.
Bro.
Israel also most likely used a guided Boeing small-diameter bomb for the strike on a refugee camp in August, killing 93 Palestinians.
Daddy, this girl screams. Where is Daddy? Amid
I'll give credit to CNN for showing that. Fox would never.
the carnage, there is no way to know the answer. The ground is covered with blood and bodies. Video from the scene shows the remnants of one munition used, a US-manufactured GBU-39 small-diameter bomb.
They used another during the UN school massacre on the 6th of June, killing 33 people, including 14 children. And they used another to strike the apartment of Jumana Abu al-Qumsan, killing her, her mother, and her 4-day-old twins while their father was out registering their birth certificate.
Wow. Wow.
All of those.
And just so you guys know, let me tell you guys something about Arab culture, right? When I was growing up as a kid, if I cried in front of my dad, he would smack me, okay? Crying, and anybody in here that's from the Middle East can probably, that whether you're Sudanese, you're Lebanese, you're Egyptian, Saudi Arabian, whatever, Yemenis, anyone's going to agree with this in the Arab world. Crying as a boy is completely unacceptable. My dad would smack me if I cried in front of him, okay? Seeing men cry is a big problem, all right? Completely forbidden, very shunned. You don't do that shit. To see an Arab man cry, right, is rare. And it's taboo. But you guys have watched these streams now for a bit. What do we see all the time? Arab men crying as their families fucking decimated and killed. These are people that suffered through poverty, starvation, all types of shit. But the things that bring them to tears is their family being killed. And like I told you guys before, Arab men crying, let alone with cameras in front of them, is extremely taboo and unacceptable. And I tell you guys that because I want you guys to understand, if you see an Arab guy crying on camera, bro, there's nothing, that's it. He's at wit's end there, you know? And I got a bunch of people here that can probably validate what I'm telling you guys. Completely frowned upon in that culture, bro. Completely frowned upon. Right? The guy was registering their birth certificates and comes back and finds out that they're dead. Wow.
Both were precision strikes, but half of the bombs Israel
Yeah. In Arab culture, you will get smacked as a kid if you're crying. If you're a boy and you're crying, your father will smack you. I'm telling you, bro. So for you to see these grown men crying, I'm telling you, it's a level of pain that they can't even hold back. Completely frowned upon to cry in Arab culture.
Israel has dropped on Gaza have been cheaper, unguided, dumb bombs, which are simply dropped from planes letting gravity do the aiming. These have killed tens of thousands of people.
Look at this. This is a girl. Literally crippled. Look at that. Someone buried under the rubble. Looks like a kid from the hand. And just so you know, there's a lot of missing people, right, in Gaza that they can't even confirm are dead. The 60,000 dead are just the bodies that they have, the corpses that are confirmed dead. We still have tens of thousands, 100,000 plus, that we don't know where they are. They're missing. So when this idiot tries to debate me yesterday and say, let's say 40,000, 21,000 that were killed were Hamas. So 19,000, you're saying are innocent people? We got a 1-on-1 ratio. That's not true. I proved that wrong yesterday with Lavender.
Lockheed Martin is an American arms manufacturer. They make Israel's F-16 jets and the most expensive jets ever developed, the nuclear-capable F-35s. Israel was the first country in the world to attack other countries with F-35s.
Yeah, attack all their fucking enemies. And they get mad at me when I say this. Everybody hates Israel. Why? Maybe because you guys attack all of your fucking neighbors and start wars. Maybe that's why. Because you guys bomb fucking kids. You guys have an illegal nuclear program. Yeah, you don't want anyone else to have a nuclear program, as we discussed earlier in the last broadcast. Maybe that's why.
Reportedly using them in Syria, Egypt, Lebanon, and Sudan in 20.
Oh, all their enemies. Told you guys. Remember how they're going to take over 7 countries in 7 years? All their enemies.
18. Israel bought another 25 F-35s for $3 billion in June of 2024, paid for by American military aid. And in August of 2024, the US approved the transfer of $19 billion worth of Boeing F-15s to Israel. In May of 2024, as 1.4 million displaced people, including about 600,000 children, were sheltering in Rafah, Boeing and Lockheed Martin jets dropped Boeing bombs on their tents, sparking
And I remember when this happened. Actually, just so you guys know, this is when Dan Bilzerian said that he had enough. As you guys know, Dan Bilzerian started speaking out against Israel very openly. He said when they bombed Rafah like this and he saw kids on fire, that's when he said it was over. And he started going at them. So this made a lot of people change their minds on Israel, this bombing here on Rafah, because they told them it was supposed to be safe and they lied.
Massive fires. During this Rafah tent massacre, the Israeli military killed at least 45 people in what Israel called a safe zone. This bombing beheaded a Palestinian baby, Ahmed
I remember seeing that. They cried about beheaded babies in Israel, which was not true. That was a lie. I debunked that for you guys a million times. But the bombs here were so powerful that it actually did beheaded a Palestinian baby. And here he is.
al-Najjar, which was widely mocked on Israeli.
And then look, the Israeli media, the main lighting this year in Rafah, see, they think this shit is funny. Happy holidays, and they show the fires. Happy lag bomber? Like, bro, in Israeli media, they think it's funny. They thought it was funny when this shit happened.